Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. In today's video, we're going to start with the homie Tyler's video here from Chico Crypto that says Bitcoin's Black Swan event could trigger a major collapse. So let's take a quick listen in and see what he has to say.
Now, a lot of people are like, well, this is old news, this is all the way back, 2020, 2021. Why is this being brought up? Well, this means that the investigation is still ongoing. They haven't closed it. So they are still looking into Binance and CZ and, did they violate the Bank Secrecy Act? Did they have enough checks for anti-money laundering, KYC? And were they looking to get U.S. customers? Because as we know, all the way up until 2020, maybe early 2021, U.S. residents could easily get a Binance account. So that is very, very dangerous. But we got to talk about another Black Swan event. The past couple of days hasn't been good news for the crypto markets. It was announced yesterday that Washington, D.C. was suing Michael Saylor for tax fraud, and they were also going after his company, MicroStrategy, for shielding him. So a lot of people are like, whoa, well, that could mean Michael Saylor, if he does get charged and he does get some massive fines, that would mean he would have to dip into their Bitcoin stash and, dump those coins, He is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin out there. So this isn't good that he is being investigated. But kind of interesting, at the same time we have one of crypto's biggest exchanges, news comes out that the investigation is still ongoing, and then one of Bitcoin's biggest bulls, Michael Saylor, is also getting hit. It's like the 1-2 punch. It almost seems like we're in the fight you stage. We definitely are in the fight you stage.
So a shout out Tyler from Chico Crypto. I highly recommend you go in and check out his YouTube channel, subscribe, and definitely check out this video. He just kind of his take on kind of what's going on in the market based on market sentiment and what's been coming out in regards of events. It's quite interesting that's his take on kind of what's going on. But I wanted to play this video here because in regarding Michael Saylor and what's going on with the tax thing, it says when's the boating accident gonna happen, Saylor? So take a listen into this really quick.
What do you do when the government tries to tax your Bitcoin?
And at the end of the day, you can tell everybody to go fuck themselves. You can put it in your head, memorize the freaking key, right? And it's here. And then, the classic Bitcoiner response is, oh, yeah, my Bitcoin, I lost it in a boating accident. You ever heard that phrase? It's kind of a trope, but what it means is at the end of the day, if you push me too far, I lost it, it's gone.
Interesting. So regardless of whatever happens, whether those Black Swan events are, actually do come to fruition and that actually happens, it's really interesting right now. It's just kind of a waiting game. We can sit here and speculate as much as possible, as much as we want, and sit here and say, what if this, what if that? But the overwhelming concept is, they are there, and it's something that needs to be taken into consideration in regards of investment strategies and maybe your dollar cost averaging or whatever the case is. Me personally, I'm kind of taking as much information in as I can and trying to make the best educated decision I can in regards of my investment portfolio. But in regards of all that stuff, those Black Swan events and where we're at, you can see we are back in this extreme fear range at 20. So obviously, a few months past, we were in this extreme fear range for some time, quite some time. We came up to the neutral, came into the fear, but really was living in this range. And we were in the fear range for some time too, but now you see we're back down here. So there's still a lot of market uncertainty. So you have the whole, CZ and Binance, which we already knew about that, that's already been there. So we knew about the whole, investigation or the probing of them. And then you had like the Mt. Gox stuff and, some news had came out in their documentation in regards of, I guess them kind of kicking back whatever funds of the Bitcoin that's available to, the people that they owe. I guess they have till September 15th to, in a sense, put up like open a ticket or something. And then, but apparently they're not going to be giving out that, I think it was like 140,000, 150,000, whatever, BTC out to, sometime, 2024-ish. So who knows what's going to happen? That's kind of a waiting game. So that FUD kind of got dwindled down. And then obviously with the Michael Saylor stuff, if he does have to sell, a majority or a good portion of his Bitcoin, obviously that can, have some sort of effect on the market, especially it may not be just his own Bitcoin portfolio, but just the whole fear in the market. Michael Saylor has got this massive fine that he has to pay, he's gonna sell his stuff, and then everybody starts piling in and try to sell, and that sell pressure just keeps compounding on itself, almost like the dominoes falling over. So just quite interesting. That's why I wanted to play that video, and shout out to Tyler from Chico Crypto, because I like to hear all the different perspectives when it comes to this market. You have your TA guys, you have your fundamental analysis, market sentiment, and all these, on-chain analytics and all these different things. It's good to kind of take in as much as you possibly can and formulate an educated decision. But moving on from the Black Swan event talk here, this is Johnny Deaton. It says, this is regarding the Ripple versus SEC case. It says, like the experienced lawyer said, while things have happened in the Ripple and XRP case, ask yourself, why would the SEC ask the judge to revoke our Amici status and throw me off the case? Because I said the SEC was an innovation killer cesspool of corruption. Really? So obviously, if you've been following the show and following the case, this was like a big deal where they tried to get Johnny Deaton and the rest of the class action lawsuit members excluded from the case, which was just sickening to see. Especially the SEC is supposed to be, protecting us investors when it comes to this space, but clearly they're not with us; they're against us. But I wanted to play this video here. Digital Asset Investor had put up. It says the SEC has lost their way. Their mission to protect investor has become a mission to protect SEC turf under Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler resigned. Where are you, Congress? And then we're going to listen into this.
When you go on the SEC website, you'll see the motto that the SEC is the investor's advocate. Well, you represent investors in the Ripple case, XRP token holders. What do you think? How's the SEC doing as an investor advocate?
Well, I think the SEC has lost focus of their mission, I should say. They're there to protect investors, and what they're doing is the opposite, because I believe that the SEC and Gary Gensler are engaged in this jurisdictional land grab, if you will, of the cryptocurrency market. And these XRP holders are caught in the crosshairs of that, jurisdictional grab. Not only have they fought us as amicus, and you guys, you know this amicus curiae very well. We could be ignored. Instead, they have objected to our participation. They filed a motion to throw me off the case because I've tweeted a couple mean tweets about them and things of that nature. So I just think they've lost their complete focus on what they're there to do.
Yeah, they absolutely lost their focus on what they're there to do. They dropped this lawsuit on the laps of Ripple and XRP holders and the entire market, and literally just like with a bunch of question marks. And clearly, obviously, with the whole Ethereum free pass piece from William Himman and then the whole ETHgate stuff, all the stuff that we've been surfacing as a community, it's quite evident that, they had a specific agenda that they try to create, this monopoly and just this whole, Bitcoin and Ethereum and nobody else type of atmosphere, which has affected thousands of investors' lives. I mean, I literally, when I think about it, I get so frustrated because, my family and I invested a good portion into the crypto space in general. But when it comes to our investment in XRP, like we had plans. Not saying that, we knew where XRP was going to go in price and, it was going to hit our exact price target. So that's not the point. But the point is, if this was a level playing field, just like it has every other market cycle, XRP would have followed Bitcoin just like the rest of the market. It would have followed the market. So obviously it would have went up. So, there's been a lot of people that's been affected, and it's quite sickening, especially coming from the SEC that's supposed to be there to protect us. This is from the Digital Asset Investor. Says, for the years, the FUD was Ripple is a great company, but we just don't see the purpose of XRP. All lies driven by fear that, yes, Ripple is a great company, but XRP was always the end game, and they knew it. You know what? Digital Asset Investor, I've been listening to him for some time now, and quite honestly, this guy's been dialed in, and whoever his sources is, and obviously he does his research and relies heavily on his father's opinion on things. I mean, this guy's wise. He's been around for some time, been in these markets. When he says things, it's just like, okay, man, this guy was dialed in. Like he really is onto something. So I really listen in when he talks. Not saying that I take everything as gospel, but Digital Asset Investor is quite interesting and definitely can learn a lot from this gentleman. This is from Riz XRP. So this is Steve from Crypto Crew U, and he has this video. What was it, like the 5 coins, all coins to look for in September? And I wanted to play this clip. I thought it was quite interesting. It says another angle must watch XRP. Let's take a quick listen in.
Everybody was saying XRP is dead. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. So right here in this channel, we said, who cares what the news are saying? Look at the charts. XRP is about to explode. And it went from about 20 cents up to $2. Now, what we're looking for is the same kind of cross, right? We had this cross down in 2020, signaling a long-term bear is coming, and we're in the midst of that, right? There's no signal close to coming that we're about to have the green line cross above the red. We've still got some time to go. But take a look at this white line right here. This is our market structure that XRP has been forming for years. You think about since May 2017, we've been forming this structure, and this is our main base that we've been forming. If XRP in the coming months gets down to this 15 cents, it's going to be a very nice time to get into the market. I'm not giving some financial advice here. I'm just stating absolute facts. This is an incredibly strong market structure that XRP has been forming for 5 years, over 5 years. So it's time to pay attention to that structure if it were to break. Now the question is, could this break? Is there something in the charts that could cause it to break? Well, one thing I would like you to look at is the RSI. And the RSI for the better part of 1 year, right, has been in this trend. What you want to pay attention to is a break of this trend. A break of this trend will shift the momentum from prices going down to prices starting to go back up. This change in momentum is what XRP needs. We're not close to it yet. So pay attention. We're on a weekly chart. The weekly RSI has got to break this trend line. Now,
it's quite interesting. This is another TA guy that I listen to every now and then, just kind of get his take on what's happening within the charts, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin leading the market. But I want to thank Riz XRP for posting that. I want to thank Steve from Crypto Crew U for all the great work he does. Coming over here, this from Cointelegraph. It says Crypto.com backs out of a $495 million sponsorship deal with the UEFA Champions League. The crypto exchange reportedly stepped in as a potential sponsor after the Champions League dropped Russian state-owned energy firm Gazprom. So, man, there's a lot going on in the space, and especially when it comes to, obviously you have the Do Kwon and the Terra Luna stuff and the Celsius stuff. There's a lot of stuff. What they say within these bear markets is where you really see the strong projects that can, I guess, hold strong within these markets that tend to flourish and, have staying power within this space over time. So there's been a lot of stuff happening, and, hopefully, I don't want to, wish any ill will on anybody, but I definitely want this space to be as strong as possible. And I know there's going to still be a lot of growing pains as we go ahead, but it's, it's kind of nice to see, especially the projects that I'm invested in, is like you see them sticking around regardless of, the negativity that comes to them. XRP being a prime example, being in the Ripple and SEC lawsuit since 2020 and still being in the top 10. It's like, what does that tell you? And then they're constantly growing as a company, onboarding new, businesses and banks around the world, and just literally continuing to expand regardless of the FUD and the negativity, because they see the writing on the wall, obviously, because it's their company, Ripple, but their use case, especially when it comes to XRP utility and the use case and the real world problems that they solve with cross-border remittances, like, it's inevitable. It's just a matter of when this thing takes off and not if. Going to end with this one right here. It says, this is from Watcher Guru. It says, just in, Robinhood has listed Cardano ADA, which is huge. I hold a good amount of ADA, and I'm going to continue to accumulate. This is one of the first assets I got into late 2017, early 2018, as well as XRP. So it's good to see that. A lot of people utilize Robinhood, so there goes another platform that people can, accumulate that. But that's the update I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoIsKey1. I really appreciate your support more than you know. I'm really excited to grow this channel and grow this community together. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.